In today's video, we're going to be working on my 2002 XR50 and we're going to be fully converting it to a CRF50. So on the bench here, I've got all the parts that we're going to be messing with in this video, but let me show you guys the actual 50 and what it looks like right now, and I'll tell you guys what the plan is and why. So here she is, XR50, and it's authentic Honda, but it's got a bunch of parts on it and it's been sitting around for a while. So it has fast 50 bars, but all the chromas came off of it, and she needs a good cleaning, and we're gonna get into the cleaning part afterwards. But what I want to do, at least for now, I'm gonna pressure wash the bike down. There'll probably be another future episode of me actually like upgrading some stuff, maybe putting some nicer pegs on here, cleaning up some of the surface, and maybe repainting the frame. But I really want to just at least change the easy stuff for now and give this thing a new lease on life here. So that's what she looks like right now. And let's go ahead and start to get into it. I'll show you guys all the stuff that we are doing, and I'll also link down in the description below where I bought everything, and then we'll just get straight into it. So I got some cool like newer style graphics. I wanted it to look like the factory bike, so you can see they're HRC. I think these are pretty trick looking. I got this seat. This seat was like 40 bucks, the whole seat with this Honda seat cover. So it's got a little gripper on the top. It's like a tall seat foam seat. Plastics, super cheap again, you guys, under 30 bucks for the whole entire set. Bars, new Pro Taper bars, they were 40 bucks, give or take, and then I got some new Pro Taper grips. So this thing is gonna look super good. Let's get straight into it. I'm gonna go ahead and wash the bike down. You guys don't have to watch me do that, but you guys see the before and after, and then we'll get straight into assembling all this stuff and getting it going. Pressure washed off the 50 with some super clean. She came out pretty dang clean, you guys. But what I'm gonna do is, just before we bring it back in, I'm gonna take off the plastics in the seat. That way I can get cleaning underneath all that, because on the new shrouds, you're actually gonna see a little bit of the tank. So I wanna make sure that under here is all clean as well. To get all this stuff off, if you haven't seen it waving around yet, on this, it's a Phillips. There's two 10 mils in the back. So right here, these two. And then there's a couple clips right here. So these push button ones, you can get a flat under there, or if you have one of these type of pry tools, you get them in there, lift out the center, and then those come off. So let's get all this off. And off she comes. So it's as simple as that, you guys. Like I said, I'm gonna clean up all this right here, and then we'll get on to the fun stuff. Okay, so the 50's inside. Seat and plastics are off, and what I want to do is, just because the plastics that we purchased are really cheap, before I go and put the graphics on those plastics, because the graphics are honestly more money. I paid more money for the graphics than the whole plastics kit, because the graphics were like, I think $35 or $40 to get those Honda ones. So I'm gonna go ahead, assemble all these plastics together to the seat, test fit everything before I put these onto there, because like I said, this costs more than that. So we'll do that first. Okay, so this seat comes with a few different positions to be able to actually mount the holes there. You can see there's kind of some adjustment there. And then on the back, it also comes with the hardware. So the new plastics kit came with all the hardware, the screws, everything that we need to mount all of these to here. So let me figure this stuff out, you guys, and I'll show you what the assembly was and what the final adjustment was and which holes I used, because this is a first for both of us. So here's the test fit. Only kind of funny thing is I gotta mess with the back fender. Apparently this is common where the back fender goes up, but I haven't like bolted anything down, but everything seems to be lining up fairly decently. So that's all working. I'm gonna get the front fender and front number plate. I'm sure you guys can figure that out. This specific application, this gets trimmed off on the number plate here, and it's a center mount one. And then under here, it's just 3 10 mils, and then our new front fender can get on there as well. Okay, so we got most of the fitment. I got the front fender and stuff on there. Only thing on the front fender, you guys, is the plastic, at least going from the older style, it's thicker where it goes through. So I had to actually get different bolts, or you can hopefully have them in your kit, because the spacing, like this collar, it was bottoming out before pinching the fender. So when I put in the factory bolts, the front fender was all sloppy. So I just had to put in some regular bolts and take out the factory ones, but not the end of the world. She's starting to look pretty good though. Everything's fitting decent. Only thing is this, but this is apparently more so to do with the seat. So I think if I wanted to fix that, what I probably could do is take out the staples, take out this foam and this cover, and put it on the factory seat base, and I think that might correct this angle. But it's kind of like the least of my worries for now, but I guess it does look kind of funky, but whatever. Figure that out later. What I'm gonna do right now, you guys don't have to watch me do it, but I'm just gonna do it and tell you guys, is I'm gonna swap out the bars because the bars are making this thing look super crusty, and I'm gonna put on the new grips as well. So let me get that done. All right, you guys, so here's what she looks like with the bars and the grips on. So like I said, still a lot of stuff that needs to be cleaned up, but it is starting to look pretty dang good. So I'm gonna pop off the plastics and we'll get the graphics on here. Okay, so we got the first one done. I'm really liking the look of this, you guys. This thing looks so sick for a little mini bike. If you guys are wondering about tricks on, tips and tricks to get these on, this wasn't necessarily my first choice, but the instructions said to use brake clean even on new plastics because there tends to be a release oil from the molds even when you buy brand new plastic. So you want to get rid of all those oils that are on the plastics, otherwise your graphics won't stick. You might have also seen me lift them up and put them back down a few times. I was just trying to position it. Kind of two things. One, I truly don't know how perfect these, cheap plastics are. And two, who knows whether the graphics are cut perfectly. So kind of a combination of both. But overall, I think they fit pretty good. I think it looks pretty good. I got a little bit of trimming to do, but overall, I'm really happy with how this is turning out. So probably trim it up a little bit and I'll get this side done. And then we can put these back on and see what the final product looks like. All right, check these out, boys. So they came out really good. Super happy with the results. I just heated up the edges and the corners afterwards once I got them set in place. This is like advanced method stuff. I'd probably just use a heat gun, but yeah, got everything stuck down, tacked good. So I'm gonna put these back and we'll install these back on here and then we'll put it on the bike. As for the holes, I am putting them in the most forward option. So there is the two options there, and I'm going most forward with the panels. So I'm putting them in the front most facing screws, so set forward. Bruh. All right, boys, she is back together. So check this thing out. I'm super happy with how this looks, just updating the thing. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I think that is a huge improvement on styling, and I think putting factory looking graphics on it just gives it that extra little touch on it to make it look clean, because there's so many of these replica bikes out here now that I think you have to go out of your way to kind of make it so that it doesn't look like a cheap knockoff bike. But super happy with how she came out. So a few things on this. There's still a bunch of stuff that I want to do to it, and it's kind of just a side project. Obviously you can see we've got a bunch of cars and stuff that we normally work on, Hellcat swaps and all that kind of stuff, but I at some point want to clean up everything, like get rid of all the rusted pieces, probably get the frame powder coated, and maybe get a bunch of pieces powder coated so that it is all cleaned up. Also, I want to clean up the exhaust again. It is a Pro Circuit exhaust system, so I say system, it's only like 2 feet long, but it is a Pro Circuit exhaust, so I would like to clean this all up at some point. And just, yeah, everything, even like the cylinders, used to be painted black, but is now rusty. It somehow just got exposed to a lot of moisture and condensation, and like literally just lifted the paint everywhere. So same thing. This cover I would like to, of course, clean up, and just all things, little foot pegs and the stand, kickstand, all that stuff. But if you guys enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. I also, next tiny little video, I want to make a quick video for you guys. The gasket behind the sprocket is leaking, so I have a new one from Honda. I went and made sure I got an OEM Honda gasket, but it is behind there, so I'm gonna be changing that. Apparently it's not that big of a deal, but I'm gonna change it so that I don't have a self-lubricating chain anymore, and lots of other videos. So if you guys are curious about these, we did do another video on getting this thing running, because it sat for at least like 10 years. and I got it all running and stuff, and then we got running. Now we're starting to make it look a little bit better. So lots more on this channel. If you guys enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, check out the other videos on the channel, and we'll see you guys on the next one.